Welcome, thanks for joining us today. We're at Transsexual Pride, Transgender Pride, Trans Pride, that'll do. Hello, can I ask about this?
Can
I ask about this?
Yeah, sure.
What does it mean?
It means that making sure that kids are able to be themselves and to grow up and be safe and live happy long lives.
Right, so what is a trans kid?
I'm not going to have this conversation.
You're not going to have that conversation?
You're going to be here and be antagonistic.
What do you mean antagonistic? I'm asking you a sincere question. That's just one example of someone that is there fighting for the rights of children, but is not willing to talk about, elaborate or explain their position.
Tell you what, it's a bit tricky for us. Yeah, it's a bit weird for us too. Just believe us. Believe trans people, believe trans children. Just
trans children?
Yeah.
So this is the thing, right?
No,
so
not getting into that debate, absolutely
you're not getting
not. Bye-bye, Jim.
What about trans children's rights?
Sorry, what station are you from?
Just Jim, YouTube.
Well, I think trans people deserve the right to healthcare.
Right.
And as to transitioning younger people, and healthcare can be a matter of fact of just getting the assistance they need to discover who they are.
Right.
I feel like everyone deserves the right to be in a place that accepts them for who they are. They deserve the right to be in a place that they can grow and evolve into the people that they want to be, that makes them happy. And I think young people deserve that just as much as everyone else.
Do you think young people have got the capacity to give consent for life-changing operations or gender?
That's what the healthcare is there for. That's what doctors are there for. That's what the advice is there for, to help people make that decision. It's a process. It isn't just.
Well, it's like if a child consents to drinking, are we going to let the child drink?
So, what does your station do again? Sorry.
We interview people in the street.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm just trying to understand your position on children with trans issues and.
Well, I've got what I wanted to say across.
You got it across.
Okay. That's
Thank you very much for your help. Hello.
Hi.
We can get involved if you want.
Okay.
What are you lot doing here today then?
We're here to make our voices known and stand against the government's awful policies that are going through at the minute.
What awful policies are they, can I ask?
The ones that are affecting trans children especially.
Trans children?
In schools. The new recommendation is that children who come to school may be changing their name or changing their pronouns, their parents have to be informed without their consent.
Right.
And that's really, really dangerous.
That's really dangerous?
And I want to bring attention to intersex, non-binary rights, because we have no legal recognition in the under the government's equality rights. In schools, the new government policy is that children have to be outed to their parents.
So was that something to do with a child identifying as a cat?
No, that's nothing to do with that.
That was what I read in the newspaper. Is that not the right thing?
Are you like a trans positive?
Trans positive?
Network, or are you?
I'm an individual positive. I deal with people on an individual basis on the merit of their character.
Okay.
I don't like to put everyone in one box.
I don't know if I want to be in.
You like boxing people? Amazing. I don't even think I've got it in me, boys.
Security, I just need to check what your purpose is here, and I don't want to be recorded, thank you.
Right, but we're in a public place, mate.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Right, so you can't approach me when I've got a camera crew with me saying you don't want to be on film. Do you understand the dynamic?
I'm a member of security.
Doesn't matter. Because I'm in a public place.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why you're here and what you're trying to film.
You can remain curious.
Right.
Unless I see some credentials.
Right there.
Right.
Yep.
Where's something that says you're working here today? That's an SIA licence.
Yeah, I'm working here today.
Where's the thing that says you're working here today? I'm supposed to take your word for it. Are you going to take my word for it?
All right, cool.
Yeah?
So
you understand the dynamic yet?
I'm going to grab my supervisor on...
Please do. Please do.
And we'll have another conversation.
Smashing. Can't
if I
wait.
could just ask you while you're here, you're free to roam around. Obviously, it is a public place. But, I would just request that you try not to get in people's faces.
In people's faces? Well, like you approached me.
One of your staff just tried touching the camera.
Yeah.
Like you asked not touch.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
We're not going to be touching your camera.
Right, sweet.
Okay.
Enough said. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trans people are people, not pawns for your politics. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about children?
Children?
Yeah.
Sorry, who are you?
Jim. My name's just Jim from
Lovely.
YouTube. What's your name?
My name is Evie.
Nice to meet you, Evie.
Nice to meet you too.
Right. I'm just trying to understand. Basically, I've got a child.
Yeah.
Right, and I want to understand what people's take is if I've got apprehensions on educating children about LGBTQ plus issues.
Why would you worry about teaching them LGBTQ issues?
Right, so what does LGBTQ stand for?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual,
Right, so
trans.
what are lesbian, gay and bisexual?
So they are sexualities?
Right, so the reason that I have an issue with educating children on that topic is because it's broad and it encompasses things that are not age appropriate for children.
Okay, but how about straight sexuality?
Yeah, I don't think that should be educated until at least 12 anyway.
So obviously straight things are everywhere. We are taught about straight romance from a young age. You will get small children being told, oh, is that your boyfriend, is that your girlfriend? So that is always intrinsic, that sort of sexuality. Right. So why should gay and bisexual things not be talked about in the same way?
Because the way that it's intrinsic, it's a societal issue, it's a systemic issue, and there ain't a great deal you can do about that. You're not gonna. Have you ever heard the expression "two wrongs don't make a right"?
Yes.
Right. So that's basically the logic behind it, if you know what I mean. Just because there's already degeneracy that not degeneracy, but sexual. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but you know, just because there's crass things, shall we say, that ain't particularly fit for the age group, just because they're on display in public, doesn't mean we need to give them more stuff that's not age appropriate. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. What are these examples of these age inappropriate things that are being taught to under 12-year-olds?
But this is what I'm saying. So LGBTQ, by definition, is about sexuality.
Okay.
So it's bringing to the forefront of a child's mind, a young, malleable adolescent or child's mind, that a concept that it's not really. It's sexuality, innit? It's sexuality.
Yeah.
So you don't say to it.
But sexuality isn't just about sex.
Right.
Sexuality is about romance. It's about lifestyle. It's about all sorts of things.
Who you find attractive.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yes. And I think that, say that a child in school has two dads or two mums, and everyone else has a mum and a dad. Should that child not? Or should everyone not be taught that is just as normal?
Right, I get that. That's an argument I understand. But my counter to that would be: do all children need to understand that for the sake of something? I'm not being funny, but less than 1% of people identify as trans, right?
Yeah.
So do all children need to learn about different sexualities to make it like an even playing field for 1% of the people? I would argue it makes more sense if there was a gay couple or something involved in a child's life, then that would get spoken about when it's necessary, do you know?
Right. I believe that even if it's just 1%, as you say, if we can do something to make life easier for that 1%, why wouldn't we?
Right. Yeah, but because it involves the sexualising infants and children.
It's not sexualising.
When you're talking
sexuality is not sexualising.
But you're talking about romantic attraction,
right?
And who you're persuaded in being fancied at, and that I would say that is fundamentals. Look, I thoroughly appreciate the fact that you're willing to have a discourse about it. It would go a lot further. We would get a lot further at sorting all this out if we could do this a bit more often. So thank you very much.
Okay,
you have a nice Pride.
And you.
I think there's the sexualization of everything and every gender and every race that's been happening, that's been normal for fucking years. And because the trans issue is a new issue, I feel like there's been like a little bit of a moral panic about it. You get me? But it's the same moral panic that was had with Mary Whitehouse back in the 60s, the same moral panic that was happening in the 20s. How is it not?
Because the issue is sexualising children. The issue is talking about LGBTQ is about sexualities.
Yes.
They're sexualities, right? So when you're educating a child on sexuality, there is an inherent sexualisation going on there.
Yeah, but isn't all identity sexual? Being straight.
Right.
Remember when you first had a wank to a fucking little magazine, FHM, with the rugby boys or a football boys? That's highly sexual, isn't it? You go, that's inappropriate for children. You wouldn't you?
No, this is a false equivalence.
How is it a false equivalence?
Because we're talking about RSE, we're talking about children at primary school age being educated about LGBTQ plus issues in the name of inclusivity. Now, I'm not a bigot. I don't.
You're doing this channel. You're clearly not a bigot.
Right.
Like,
So what I'm saying is there are underlying intrinsic child safeguarding issues, and that's just the thing. When talking, yes, people can make the counter argument. sexuality isn't all about sex. But fundamentally, at its core, it's about who you're physically attracted to.
Yeah.
Do you see what? And that's,
But what is the alternative then? Are you suggesting that we only teach sort of straight sex education, that we do not teach kids at 5 and 6?
No.
Like whatever fucking age it is.
I'm saying my position is straight sex, all sex education shouldn't be done until secondary school.
Really?
Yes.
When did you first have sex? 15 I was when I had sex. So
secondary school.
Is that just secondary school, isn't it?
Well, let's just finish in secondary school. Let's just finish.
No, not finish
Come on,
in secondary.
play the honest.
No, secondary school is year 7, isn't it? Like,
year 7, year 8, year 9, which is 15. Your year 10's year 15.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, you're alright, but listen.
I get you. Look, so if you're talking about a blanket sort of thing,
because children don't grow up at the same age. It's all
yeah.
I get that. So, but at the same time, the blanket thing with lumping it all on them in primary school, it ain't going to end well, mate. There's kids already identifying as cats and that. I know they say it's a dog
that's
whistle.
a wedge.
I know they say it's a dog whistle, but it's been in print. It has been recorded. Yeah, there were schools that are allowing that to happen, and obviously there's going to be some sort of like pushback on that sort of behaviour.